Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the Corner Bookstore. And the first Thursday of every month, I have the pleasure of working with my co-host, CJ Peterson. CJ, come on out, and we will have a chat before we welcome our guests. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Doing very well, by the way, and glad to see that you have your voice back and that you're here with us.
I do. I enjoy this. I like the once a month slide in. I know Diane unfortunately has to miss it, but I enjoy coming in and being able to talk to other authors and to shine a spotlight on them as well.
Absolutely. And we love having you here. And your schedule is full on as well. You're interviewing people on a regular basis. You're writing, you're publishing, you're blogging, you're speaking. I don't know how you do all of it. But if you would just give an intro to our audience for people who might not have met you before, and then we'll bring out our guest.
Sure. I am an author, blogger, podcaster, publisher, and speaker, as Dr. JACALYN just said. I have 18 novels. They are Christian fiction. But I tell people it's not your mama's Christian fiction. If you're expecting Janet Oki, these are not the books for you. I tell people I'm also a realistic Christian, that my characters go through it all. And even after they're saved and they found Christ, they still go through it all because that's realistic. I also have 2 children's books that are out for Chief and Sarge, and that's an accidental children's book author, and that's a long story that we don't have time for. I also have 10 awards, varying between the different books. And I have 2 blogs, Journey to Fruitfulness blog, which follows our 5 acres from ground zero to fully functioning self-sustaining. I also have the Shelf Life blog, which I'm a blogger for Lone Star Literary Life, as well as my own. I do book reviews, author interviews, spotlights, different things on that blog. So if you enjoy reading, make sure to head over there. Podcasting, I have 2 podcasts. I have Book World, The Great Escape, which is great for authors who like to learn stuff. And then we also have Magic Making Mischief, which allows me and my partner Mambi to get into trouble, let's just say, at different Comic-Cons and book stuff that's going on. And then I also have this once a month, the first Thursday of the month, I get to fill in for Diann for the Corner Bookstore, which I thoroughly enjoy. And I'm also a publisher for Texas Sisters Press, is a publishing company. And I enjoy giving authors a chance that they may not otherwise get a hold of. Also speaking, I've spoken a wide variety of different topics, and you can find those listed on my website. You can probably find all of this listed somewhere on the website of cjpetersonwrites.com. While the stories are fiction, the journey is real.
Yes, I love it.
That's a nutshell.
It is amazing when we think about all the things that we do and helping other people, putting content out in the world. Today we're going to have a very interesting topic. I love this. Restarting a career at age 63 as an author and illustrator. We have Elizabeth Gales backstage with us. And, what I find so fascinating is I started a whole new career. I'm going to be 60 this month. I started a new career in 2020, and there's a lot of uncertainty that comes when you're starting. You leave corporate, for example, and you go out on your own. And I feel like for me, and I'd love to hear what you think and what Elizabeth thinks, you go out on your own. It's like, what was I doing before? Like, hello, I mean, there's definitely some good things, a great experience, but there's nothing like going out on your own, having your own business. It's just, I think it's amazing.
I tell people I graduated from the school of hard knocks. So that allows me to learn stuff the hard way. But once I learn the lesson, it's there.
Absolutely. Let's welcome our friend from Canada, Elizabeth Gales. Hello, welcome.
Hi there. I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you and see you. So
Okay.
everything go. Elizabeth, you restarted a career. What were you doing before being an author and an illustrator?
I basically worked since I was 16, but the last 20 years of my life, I worked in a small seniors home, or my working career life. And that was a very challenging and stressful position. And yeah, it was rewarding as well. I loved working with the seniors and everything, but it took its toll. And yeah, I decided to retire early at 63. I had the opportunity to do that, and that gave me time to actually have time to sit down and do some things that I've always wanted to do.
I was going to say, what made you make the shift from living a retired life to wanting to be an author?
Well, the being retired is what gave me the opportunity to try being an author. I've always wanted to be an author and an illustrator. It's something that had always been a dream of mine, and life takes you in different directions, and I never had the opportunity. So at 63, I had that opportunity and could actually stay home and actually work on some of these things that have been percolating in my head for so long. So it was actually being able to retire that helped me try to do this career.
Wow, it's amazing how these things happen. And I just saw on Instagram an interview on the Howard Stern show where this doctor was talking about every year that you prolong retirement, you get X number of years in exchange, if that makes sense. So that there's definitely scientific evidence that proves that if we stay busy, if we continue to be productive, we're going to live longer.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm having so much fun right now. It's being able to work on my illustrations, being able to work on all the stories that I have compiled over the years. I just get up every morning feeling good and excited to continue on, and I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity, that I had the finances in place to allow me to retire early, and yeah, it's a new exciting road and adventure. I started late, but I'm looking forward to it.
So can you tell us a little bit about the books that you have, and how many do you have out so far?
I only have the one so far. It was my first book that was published, Orange Kitty and the Mouse Parade, though I have so many stories just for Orange Kitty alone that are waiting to be developed, and so many other ideas as well. I mean, since I was young, I've had sketchbooks and journals and everything that I have taken notes and written ideas, sentences, scenes, and they've all been waiting there, waiting to be developed into something. And so I'm hoping I have enough time to get to all of them.
I have your book, Orange Kitty, by the way. Ann O'Connell sent it to me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful work. So did you do the illustration yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I always wanted to illustrate and write stories, and it was something that I was unsure I'd be able to do at first, especially if you go the traditional publisher route. A lot of times they just want the manuscript and not the illustrations. But with Anne O'Connell, she was able to look at both my illustrations and my story, and you know, and enjoyed them and liked them, and agreed that they should go together. So that was kind of nice. I was really happy when I met Anne, and she was able to utilize both my illustrations and my stories.
So Orange Kitty, is that like a former cat of yours? Do you know somebody? Who is Orange Kitty after?
Orange Kitty is kind of a compilation of all different pets, but we did have one orange cat, Max. Lovely cat, very patient, didn't mind getting dressed up by the kids and everything like that. Wasn't interested in chasing after birds or things like that. Just was kind of a lazy little cat, and very, very gentle and everything. And yeah, Orange Kitty kind of reflects Max a little bit.
And I'm wondering, do you have Orange Kitty there, Elizabeth?
I do. Let's see if I can get it out here. I'm on my tablet actually, because my laptop didn't want to work. So here's Orange Kitty in the Mouse Parade, if I can get it centered. Here we go.
Great. And we'd love to have you read from it if you would.
Oh, sure.
Not the whole thing, because we want people to buy it. We have to tease them.
Yes. Well, might as well start at the beginning. So Orange Kitty has a favorite spot. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. A quiet place at the end of the hall, the long narrow hall with the bright yellow wall. Orange Kitty sees a little blue door just an inch from the floor. Curious, she stares and stares and stares and stares some more. She stares until, yawning a great big yawn, she closes an eye and does not spy one little mouse peek out and look about, out from the door just an inch from the floor. And of course, it's out that door that the rest of the book takes place, and it's they all come out at different moments, and the whole parade comes out, and I hope people can enjoy that and count the mice and enjoy the parade and see what happens at the end.
From a publisher perspective and a children's author perspective, writing the book for me is entirely different than actually illustrating. How long does it take you to actually illustrate them? And how did you put it all together that this is what I want it to look like? Like, you have an idea as you're writing,
Yes.
but how did you translate it from that to the reality on the paper?
I'm a very visual person, and a lot of my stories, even before I write them, I get ideas in my head visually, and then I kind of put words onto those stories. And so the illustrations, Orange Kitty itself started with a doodle, and I really loved the doodle, and I kind of worked on it and developed it and everything. And that orange cat kind of lived in my head for a while, and those stories kind of started developing there. And it's more, I find that I tend to put the words in after, when I already have kind of a visual idea in my head of how the story is going to go. And the illustrations do take a while. Orange Kitty itself took me about a year to actually get from my head into being published and everything. And when I write the story part, I'll put it away for a week or two and then take it out and look at it again with kind of fresh eyes and go over it. And the illustrations, I just work on it and redo it. And sometimes I'll get new ideas and want to add those in there. And so the illustrations can take me a while, because I'll change things around and add things and remove things, and until I get it just the way it feels right to me. Yeah, and the story follows it. And I do enjoy the story as well. I love rhymes. I always have. As a kid, I had a wonderful poetry book. It was an old book with a worn green cover on it. It was kind of like an anthology and educational at the same time. It had everything in there from haikus and sonnets and free verse and limericks and everything. And it also explained all about the poetry there. So that's something that I read over and over when I was a child. And of course, with my own children, all the stories that we like to read there, it was something that I really enjoy, especially the rhyming part. And I get a lot of fun out of coming up with rhymes and words and everything. The hardest part is editing. Like, I would love to stuff tons of things into the story that, would probably make it way too long. So I'm always having to remove things because there's too many ideas that need to go in there.
Thanks for sharing that, Elizabeth. What really came to mind for me is that in addition to your book being terrific for children, it's also terrific for seniors, for people with dementia, there's a whole audience of people who I feel really can benefit from reading children's books, as well as adults, because there's always a message in there. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I mean, it's the colors and the words, and the rhyme too. I think it attracts the attention, not just of kids, but everyone, really. I think poetry and rhyming is something that is common to human beings around the world, and we love things that rhyme and make, are fun to read, kind of like that. And I can certainly see it, seniors enjoying it as well, and I'm glad if it does, because that's the whole point of writing these stories for me. It's to make people smile, and that's what I hope they get out of Orange Kitty and any other books I might write, is that when they read it, it makes them smile.
Very cool. Well, I know that you would basically put this restarting a career at age 63. How has that been for you as far as jumping into the author world?
It's a big learning curve. To me, it's exciting. It was like discovering that this is something I can do. And it was something I had wanted to do my whole life. And having actually published this one book, it just kind of validates that this is the right thing for me, that this is something that I can keep working on and hopefully get more books out there and everything. And it was hard overcoming doubts and fears about changing from one career to another, especially one that is more artistic and doesn't have guarantees that things are going to go well. So though a lot of things in life are that way, but I am really glad that I took the chance and decided that now was a time I could do it. I can afford to do it a little bit, and I'm really happy that people are enjoying the book, and I'm hoping that I will be able to get all the books out that I have inside me out on shelves, and hopefully everybody will like them.
Absolutely. And you mentioned about fear and doubts, and I feel like we all go through this. I shared recently I had imposter syndrome by
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And it's kind of like Wow, who am I now? And am I really ready to do this? Did you experience
Yes.
any of that, Elizabeth?
Oh, absolutely. After my book was published, even, I had that feeling that I'm an imposter, that people are going to take the book and realize that, no, this isn't well written or whatever. But it is hard to silence those voices sometimes. And but yeah, it needs to be done. You have to silence them and just keep moving forward anyways, and it's it is something too with uh low self-esteem. Those kinds of things are all kinds of issues that I struggled with my whole life. Even as a site manager at the seniors home, I would be having meetings with people from the hospital and different things like that, all very well-educated people. And I would also have these kinds of feelings about not being able to I guess, be on an equal footing with some of these individuals. But you do your best every time, and it seems to be okay and work out. And I think that's the same with changing your career. You have to have a bit of faith and just keep pushing forward anyways, even when your head is full with, like, oh yeah, fear and doubt and everything. And it can be hard, but it's very worthwhile when you do. So,
Well, if it's any consolation, like I said, I have 18 books and 3 anthologies and 2 children's books, and I still get that way.
yeah.
The artist that's in us, and when you put a book out there, you're kind of exposing your heart to the world, and you're just like, please don't
Yes.
squish it, please don't squish it, please don't squish it. But to keep in mind, the encouraging part is that people will either love it or they won't like it.
Yes.
But that's on them, number one. And number two, a part of you is now permanently in the world.
Yes.
That you have put that story out there and you were given that dream and that vision for a reason.
Yeah. No, it's very exciting. I do feel very excited for my future right now. And I have so much more work inside me that wants to come out. So I think this will keep me busy for a very, very long time.
I give you tons of kudos because the most I can draw is stick figures. So tons and tons of credit go to you to do both of them on this.
Oh, thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, it's been a journey there too. I've been learning how to use the digital illustration as well, which was a big learning curve, and I really enjoy it. I love using the digital, though I still like to go back to pen and paper and pencil, which is my favorite medium. So that's.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sorry. As far as illustrations, different illustrators do it different ways. What is your process for that?
Well, I was learning digital illustration while I was drawing illustrations for Orange Kitty. And with Orange Kitty, I was doing pen and ink on paper and then coloring them with inks and watercolors. And that's generally my favorite way to do illustration. But I found that as I was learning how to do the digital, which was really fun, and it was also easier for me to get those images to David Edelstein, which was the gentleman that put the book together. So being able to transfer those images to another person, and where they can also work on it to get the book together. Digital illustration kind of made that a lot easier, because with the hand-drawn illustrations, those need to be scanned in and then transferred, turned into files and things like that. So I've really enjoyed the process of learning digital illustration too, and it has made illustration and working with other people on those illustrations a lot easier.
Elizabeth, what I'm wondering is, are you planning to do a coloring book or any animation of Orange Kitty?
I would love to do both of those things. I have thought about an animation. I think it would the parade would lend itself perfectly to an animation. A coloring book too is something that I've got on the back burner. I've actually been working on some images from Orange Kitty and the Mouse Parade to create like a digital coloring book or something like that, and that people could print off and everything. But yeah, I mean, those would all be fun. I really think if there's anyone out there that can animate, I'd love to hear from them.
You know, one thing that I found, and I'd love to hear what the two of you think is, and I think CJ, I might have mentioned this to you, as an author myself, the one thing that I found kind of shocking was, because I'm all about the gold stars, is the number of book sales. I was thinking, oh, tens of thousands, thousands, hundreds. Like I have to keep going back and back, back and back. But it's kind of an eye opener. I got a payment that's coming from Ingram Spark for $6.09. I was like, wow, that's super exciting. Thank you.
It is, but that first check, you want to frame.
Yes.
It's kind of like getting that first book when you first get the first proof copy and you open it up and you have tears in your eyes because this is a dream that you've had for so long is finally in front of you. And you don't get into being an author for the money. Just
no.
Yeah.
Right out. That doesn't happen.
Very true.
To silence those voices in your head, you kind of have to be a little bit schizophrenic as an author because the voices are going to talk and they're going to wake you up. So yeah, you don't do it for the money.
No.
But the best form of advertising is honestly word of mouth. And it has surprised me how many people that I don't know that either message me or have found me somewhere and they're like, I love your books. And to me, that's all the encouragement I need to keep going.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As I said before, a part of you is now out there in the world that no one can take away.
Well, I was doing an interview with Anne, and there was someone that was watching the interview and said that they were purchasing one of my books and they lived up in Nunavut. And I thought, oh my God, that's amazing, you know? And it's nice to have that work out there and know that there will be people out there that are going to enjoy it and experience it. And yeah, it's not about the money. I think my first royalty thing was $9 and some cents. So it's definitely not about the money. And for me right now, that isn't the important thing either. It's about getting all these ideas out and putting them out there into the world. So yeah, for sure. If you can't quit your day job for sure. Something like that.
You know, but what I think is also interesting, I agree with what you both said, is there's still that desire to create more.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I love what I did and I want to do more. And so we just keep going. And again, it's not about the money. And CJ, you've shared this as well as some other authors, but the author community is so welcoming. And Elizabeth, have you found that? Have you reached out to get involved with author groups?
Oh, yes. I've found that the community is just amazing. They're so willing to help and just be there for support. I've joined a number of author writers associations, like here in Halifax. There's the Writers Federation of Nova Scotia. I think I've also joined what it sounds like Scubby, Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, and I've taken. It's wonderful the workshops they have, and you can message people and everything like that. So yeah, I have noticed that I have been floored actually by the support and help that I've gotten from other authors. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's fantastic.
So what's next on your plate?
Well, I'm working on the next Orange Kitty story, which is Orange Kitty and the Mouse Garden Party. and I think that one will be just as much fun. I'm also illustrating a book for OC Publishing, written by Barbara Ann Miller. It's called Zigzag Zeffie. And I've just been offered a contract to do one called Little Church Beside the Sea. And that one is a beautiful little story about an old church that gets some support and fixed up and everything, and kind of gets back to what it was when it was first built. So I'm really excited about those.
That's really great. So you're not just writing, you're actually illustrating other people's books as well, which
yes,
it's huge.
Flow. Helps the flow, but it also helps get your name out there, and you know, hey, I do this, and check it out. I can. That's really cool. Congratulations.
I'm really excited about them. Yeah, absolutely.
Elizabeth, I'm just wondering, is there anything you miss about your previous life, your previous career? For people who are at home, they're thinking, oh, is she really that happy? Is she?
To be honest, no. Like I did love my job when I was doing it, but I haven't had any second thoughts whatsoever about what I'm doing right now, what I'm trying to do. And I mean, if I didn't have the pension I had, I probably would have to be working as well. And that would take more time to do the things I wanted to do this way. But now that I'm doing it, I would never give it up, even if I had to work again or something like that. So this career is something that I will continue to work at no matter what. So, but no, I don't miss the work I had before, writing and illustrating. It's something that gets me up in the morning and makes me smile. So it's you know, before I used to get up in the morning and worry about all the different issues that needed to be handled, and issues that were happening with some of the seniors that were living at our residence. And there was always a lot of worry and always a lot of stress and everything like that. So no, this career is nice. I'm enjoying this career.
That's fantastic. I love seeing the joy in your eyes and the smile on your face. You can tell you're truly happy.
I am.
And I want to share my screen just for a moment, because I've pulled up Orange Kitty and the Mouse Parade over here on Amazon if people want to go ahead and order the book. Anything that you would like to share, Elizabeth, about this over here on Amazon?
I think it's anyone that can leave a review on Amazon, that'd be great. I think it's also on Barnes and Noble, and I think on I've forgotten the name now, but yeah, I mean, it pretty much says it on there on Amazon and everything like that. And yeah, if someone does buy it and they like it or not, leave a review. That would be great.
So I have a question about that. I'm going to direct it, I think, to CJ. So I actually have a copy of your book because Anne gave it to me. Can I leave a review, or do I have to have purchased it?
No, you can leave a review. I think anyone can leave a review.
Okay.
I believe I have a number of reviews on Goodreads, which is kind of nice. That's it's been fun reading what people have had to say about the book. So yeah.
Do you want to share?
I'm sorry. One good way to answer your question, one good way around that of being the verified purchaser is to take a picture of the book. And when you go to upload the review, you can actually upload that picture to prove that you have the book.
Ah, okay. Fantastic. Thank you. And would either of you like to share with our audience what is Goodreads in case people don't know?
Sure, I can, or you can, up to you.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Goodreads is a forum where a lot of readers can connect with authors. They can find out what books they have. You can write book reviews. You can connect with people who like the genre that you like, and you can share stories. There's different contests that go on to Goodreads as well. But the big thing is the reviews, because a lot of times that's what people go to, is they'll go to Goodreads and look at them and say, okay, what do they got going on? They'll do them at Amazon. They'll do them at Barnes and Noble. Amazon is not the only, gorilla in the room when it comes to different reviews and how to post them and where to post them. You can also, if you have an ebook version, you can post them on the ebook sites as well. And authors need them. That is kind of our bane of existence, of the fact that can't. And it doesn't have to be anything huge, just simple. How many stars and what you liked about it, or what you didn't like about it, whatever it is. Because as an author, a lot of times, if it's constructive, I appreciate something like that.
Yes.
It allows me to change it for the next one.
That's right. Yeah, no, I find reviews interesting, even when there's like a criticism or something. Don't think I have had too many of those, so that's kind of a good sign, I guess.
Now, what about the old adage, if you don't have anything nice to say nothing at all?
I think it's the way you say it, right? If it's a constructive criticism, it's okay. I think the internet and things like that can be awful vile sometimes, but it's always good to have honest discourse. So, yeah.
It's kind of that constructive versus destructive. Are you being constructive and saying, hey, I like this, but maybe you need to change this, or consider doing this next time? And then it's that compliment sandwich usually helps too. Compliment, complaint, compliment.
Yeah.
But it's in the wording and how you do it. And
Exactly.
I've taken the advice of some of my readers. Some of them have been destructive, and honestly, I let my readers handle it, and they do very good at it.
I love that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth, we're coming to the end of our show, and I want to spotlight you. And I just love asking guests this. Based on your experience, where you've been and where you are today, what advice, what tips would you give to people out there who are looking to make a change, but literally still sitting there thinking, I can't do it?
I think what I wish I'd done too is that even while I was working, I had spent more time developing these ideas and these stories and working on them all through my life, and not having excuses, to put it aside. A lot of things happen to us in life, and it can so easily direct us in different directions and everything like that. But if you have something you love and that you that is feels honest, just do it. Like even if you have to work and do it at the same time. Like, I wish I hadn't left it to 63. I wish I had worked on this years and years ago, but it's never too late either. So I'm happy that I got started now and not kept putting it off any further.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. Elizabeth, we have your banner up, but for people who are not able to read it, they're listening on a radio station or podcast platform, what's the best way to reach out to you, and who would you like to contact you?
Anyone can contact me, really. I've got Instagram, Elizabeth M. Gales at Instagram and Facebook. My email is elizabethmgales@gmail.com. Any of those would work if anyone's interested in getting in touch. On Instagram, I do daily doodles and everything. So there's always something to see on the Instagram site if anyone's interested in my illustrations. And I'll post things about books I'm working on and illustrations that I'm working on. So yeah, if they're interested, they can check that out. That'll, give them some idea.
Fantastic. I'm already following you. How about that?
Thank you.
When we get off.
Yeah, I was like, I'm already following her. Okay, fantastic. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you with us. Please do come back and see us for our show, Once Upon a Time, the good book for kids, I think is the name of it. So we look forward to celebrating your work and continuing to see your happy smile.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
You
Bye
too.
for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow, that was fun, wasn't it? I just love when people make a transition that's a transformation that's positive and gives them a lot of joy.
And you can see it in her face. Like when she talks about her past versus where she's at now, she's happy. And that's an artist heart. When an artist is doing what they were born to do, the dream that they were given to do, it changes you from the inside out, and it's a visible happiness.
Absolutely. CJ, I'm going to spotlight you, and I'd love for you to share with all the work that you've done and all the awards that you've earned. How do you just stay so humble and so sweet?
My readers help. Um, no, I enjoy doing it. It's something I thoroughly, it's my heart. Every time I write a book, my heart goes out into it. And as I said before, it's kind of like you put it out there and you say, please don't squish it. Every book that you put out there is a part of you, and whether you want it to be or not, because your style and your influence is what created that work. And I don't know how to answer that question as far as saying humble. To me, it's what I love to do, and I do it.
Yay, you do it so well. Well, thank you again for being here. And we have your contact information up here, but who would you like to contact you and how should they do it?
Any readers, anybody interested regarding the blogs, podcasting, publishing, anyone who wants to get a hold of me to be a speaker, I'm open. Come find me. You can get a hold of me at cjpetersonwrites.com under the contact page, or cjpetersonwrites@yahoo.com.
Thank you, CJ Peterson, and we will see you again next month.
Yay.
Bye for now.
Bye.
And thank you to each and every one of you who are watching or listening on the live or the replay. We really do appreciate you. I just want to go through a few announcements for anyone who might be new to our channel. We have about 30 live shows a week. And if you would like to be a guest on any of them, please go to our website, which is usaglobaltv.com. Book your session. I'm going to share with you some of those shows. This is It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. It's a show that I co-host with Mr. Roland Friedel. And for the dates and times, please just go to the website, usaglobaltv.com. We also have Dementia Home Care, Balancing Care with Peace of Mind. And this is a show I do with Tracy Cram Perkins. We have the Creative Heart Show, which I do with Dr. Madeline Chan. And we have the Sales Leader Roundtable, exploring topics about leadership and sales acumen. This is a show that is hosted by Kenley Davenport and Jim DeBold. We have Children Live What They Learn, the Power of Etiquette and Manners for Children. This is a new show. It's actually starting tomorrow with Mr. Philip Sykes from the British School of Excellence. We have Take Steps and Kick IBD in support of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. And for those of you who don't know, I have been an ulcerative colitis patient for 32 years, I think, and I'm very involved with the Crohn's Colitis Foundation. And the Take Steps Walk is happening at Lincoln Financial Field, January 25th, the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. You actually get to tour the Eagles locker room. So we have a show where we bring people who are patients or who are involved in the Take Steps Walk to share and help educate our audience. We have Women in Business. This is a show that I host myself. We also have The Power of Etiquette and Manners, a second show about etiquette and manners with Mr. Philip Sykes. We have Presenting Pet Psychic Amina. We have our cooking show, The United Kitchens, featuring celebrity chef Ricky McKenna. And we have Authentic Achievements with myself and Kim Adele Randall. We have Hot Topic, which is a show that I host. And we have The Earth Show, which Roland and Marcine, they co-host and moderate this show. We have Entrepreneur and So Much More, which is a show I co-host with Mr. Justin Merigliani. We have Aging Gracefully with Humor. This is another show that I host. We also have Spelling Bee. It's our one and only game show, which is super fun. We have Global Adventures, which is Janetta Barry in the Epiphany Process. She joins us from Africa each week, and we go on tours of, it's not a tour, a travel show. It's an adventure show. So we just were in Marrakesh. We also have Roland Friedel and the Mallorca Connection. And I'll just go through one or two others. Once Upon a Time, the Good Book Guide for Kids. This is the one I was just referring to with Elizabeth. And let's see, I'll do one more, which is The Listening Mentor. And this is a show where we talk about elevated listening skills and the power of listening, how elevated and effective listening can really change your relationships. And finally, these are the books that I currently have available, whether I have written them by myself or with my co-authors. The books at the bottom, the first four, starting on the left, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, The Listening Mentor. These are a book series. There'll be 7 in total for children to learn elevated listening skills. And each of the animal characters that you see on the book covers represents a real person who took my course, The Power of Listening. And so they are actively involved in our community of elevated listeners. And we invite everyone who comes to this platform as a guest, or if you haven't been a guest, you can still become an elevated listener, which means you become part of our team at USA Global TV and radio, and you get invited to unique opportunities. Here's the course I'm referring to, the Power of Listening certification course. It's a 2-hour course. It's online, on demand. Take it at your leisure. Once you finish the course, you will, as you watch role plays, you will have a 7-question quiz. And when you score 100% on the quiz, you then get a certificate of completion, which gets featured on our website, usaglobaltv.com, and on drjacalyn.com. So we'd love to have you join us. Thank you again for being here. Our next show is The Wise Ones with Mr. Red O'Loughlin, myself, and Mr. Hyatt Ives. So we look forward to seeing you then. That'll be followed by our expert presenter, Red O'Loughlin, on Talking Heads. Thanks for being here today. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks, CJ. Thanks to all of you. Bye for now.